my mom having schizophrenia was such a huge part of that experience because I feel like it's slightly different than someone who has anxiety or depression because episodes are sporadic in onset. And as a child, if you don't understand the disease, you don't understand what's happening. You're just seeing a parent lash out at you. You're not saying, like, as I'm older, I'm like, oh, my mom's having an episode. The best thing I can do right now is be calm. As a kid, she starts freaking out. I start freaking out back. And then my dad's yelling. And then it just turns into a family warfare. But you take that mental instability and the anger from my dad, and then you couple that with financial problems. It's just a whole stew, a whole stew of just like, how am I going to get out of this? How am I going to survive? And as a kid, though, the mindset is just like, I was just an angry kid. I don't know how else to say it. Like, I couldn't process what was happening.
And you were angry at your parents, at society, at everybody?
Mainly at my parents.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of focused anger at my parents. Like, why did you have a kid? I didn't ask to be here. Type of I hate you, slamming doors. Like, I apologize a lot now. I was not a nice kid. And then also my mom had a son before she met my dad. I had an older brother who suffers from a very severe form of cerebral palsy.
Okay.
And because there was so much fighting and turmoil at my house, Children's Services stepped in when I was very young and had removed us from the household. And because of my brother's disability, my parents got me back, but they didn't get my brother back because my mom was deemed unfit to care for him.
Oh, wow.
And so that was just an extra layer of confusion in the household. And then my brother would come visit because my parents, my mom still wanted to have a relationship with their son because schizophrenia is a disease. It's not the person, right? So my mom has moments of clarity, and I feel like if my mom wasn't schizophrenic, she would be the best mom in the world. That makes me so sad to say. Sorry. But when my brother would come visit, I would be angry because he would get the attention that I was like starving for.
Yeah.
But obviously he's like a child with cerebral palsy, like to the extreme where my brother can't walk, can't speak, can't do anything for himself without the assistance. And the guy that knocked my mom up against my brother's dad, she never followed through for like child support. He was never around. She was doing drugs because she didn't know she was pregnant. She had him at 21. It's like my mom's story starts off rough. She was Catholic, so she had to keep the baby. Then she gets pregnant by my dad. She's Catholic. She keeps the baby again. She doesn't know what she's doing still. And I just think that all those factors combined with like financial, like not that money is everything, but it can make things easier. So when you don't have it, you have to get really creative about how you're going about life. And I don't think there was a lot of room for like that creativity or that love with all the obstacles that were kind of lined up. And so for me, I think it was just like, just trying to kind of navigate how to find love and acceptance in the world in that situation.
So tell me about, we talked a little bit about you excelled in school. Mm-hmm. How did these circumstances that you were in play a role in your excellence in school?
Yeah, I think I was very lucky to have my mom's mother, my Grandma Margaret. She was always kind of a guiding light in the chaos. I asked to go live with her and she told me no because my two older cousins had already messed it up and like brought weed over and boys and whatever. They were older than me. And I was like, give me a chance. And she was like, no. But I will tell you, like, do not, this doesn't have to be your life. It was my life. It was your mom's life because my mom and my grandma married my grandpa, who was very abusive, and she had 2 sons with cerebral palsy because that also is genetic. So,
oh wow,
but these things are also onset with trauma. So she kind of saw my mom, and then there was me, and she was like, "You got to do good in school if you don't want this to be your life." And this is like, my grandma comes from like the era of the '60s, is when she was like hot and popping. It's like she didn't come
flower
from
child.
Yeah, and there wasn't this idea of like female entrepreneurs and like you don't need education, you can just be this thing and create this thing, which is so possible in today's world. Like all she knew is, okay, there are people who went to college get to go here and people who don't stay here.
Yeah.
And so get good grades and go to school, which I'm not saying that is the necessary path for success, but for me, that is what saved me because I got good grades in school. My teachers were then giving me attention. Good job, Sierra.
There we
Sierra's
go.
first in class. Sierra's name's on the board. I'm getting like
Got it.
the affirmation of humanity that I wasn't getting at home.
Right.
And that becomes like a drug, right? Like attention can be like a drug. And so then I'm like, okay, I need more of this. So I keep doing better in school. And like that was my way of feeling seen and heard. And that's kind of where the split started to happen between like what I was facing at home and then who I wanted to be at school and the life I wanted to present to the world.